up, YouTube? My name is RSMario here, bringing you another Pokemon Sword and Shield video. What? So not exactly a Sword and Shield video. It's kind of about Sword and Shield, but it's actually about what people were talking about. You know, Sword and Shield versus Scarlet and Violet. You know, so I wanted to throw it off a little bit, do something a little bit different this time, because I've been doing the league coverage for a while now. And while I am going to be doing another one of those videos, I wanted to do something different, you know. So on the old Twitter machine, a Twitter user by the name of SB Juju threw out the hottest of hot takes, apparently. Pokemon Sword and Shield's art style is light years better than Scarlet and Violet's. Someone has to say it. And boy, did people have a lot to say about this. So of course you want to continue getting videos like this from me. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all that good stuff that YouTube requires you to do to continue getting videos from me. Follow me at twitter.com/rsmario128. Like my video tweet, share my video tweet, or share my video tweet, and I will shout you out of the at this portion of the video. All right, let's get on into it. So, is Pokemon Sword and Shield's art style better than Scarlet and Violet's? And a quick answer would be no. Alright, that's it. Go ahead and wrap up the video. No, okay. Alright, so no. But yo, it's not better than Scarlet and Violet's because it's the same. They have the same art style. You know what I'm saying? Because art style is a little bit different than I think what SB Juju is talking about here. I mean, because you can tell by looking at pictures of Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet and tell that they have the same art style. Like this picture right here you see now, one is from Freezington and the other one is from Montenivria. You know what I'm saying? One's from Scarlet and Violet and the other one's from Sword and Shield. You can clearly see that the art style is the same. The thing that actually is different between these two is the aesthetic. See, because both games have a 3D art style. Alright, 3D, you know, semi-fantasy, semi-realistic art style. But the aesthetic is different. Because the aesthetic for Sword and Shield is more like whimsical, more kind of fantasy-based. Whereas the aesthetic for Scarlet and Violet is more grounded. It's more realistic. You know what I'm saying? You can tell that from the bigger cities in Scarlet and Violet as well. Like, you look at, like, Mesagoza versus, like, Chichester, you know, or Crychester, however you say that. You know what I'm saying? Again, one of them is more fanciful and the other one is more realistic and grounded. Now, does that mean that Sword and Shield is better than Scarlet and Violet? No, not by a long shot. Bro, I can barely remember 5 characters from Sword and Shield. But I can give you more than 5 characters from Scarlet and Violet. And it's not even like recency bias. That just comes from there being better characters and a better story in Scarlet and Violet. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. Like, there's a better story. There's a better map. There's a better world. You know what I'm saying? Arguably better Pokemon. I'm just saying. You know, I just been arguably. Hey, you know, hey, maybe we can start a discussion down in the comments who's got better Pokemon, Generation 8 or Generation 9. You know what I'm saying? But I will give it to him as that the aesthetic for Sword and Shield is a bit better. But why is that, though? Why is Sword and Shield's aesthetic better than Scarlet and Violet's? Sword and Shield is not an open world game. Sword and Shield goes by the old school Pokemon, you know, linear style of game design. You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes its art style or its aesthetic better, because they had to do less work with it. See, you're not going to go and see like behind certain buildings and certain parts of certain buildings. You're not going to see any of that kind of stuff. So they don't have to do that kind of work. They don't have to render that. That could be a complete void. So all that work that they don't have to do on the parts of the building that you're not going to see because the game is linear, that work they can go into making the aesthetic better. They can have these little artistic flourishes and these little bits of whimsy and fantasy that they can sew in to the art style of the game that they can't really do for Scarlet and Violet because It's an open world game, so you have to design more things. You have to build more. So whenever you have a game that's bigger or more open, usually the design kind of suffers some because of it. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't have an open world that has a very real creative and artistic design. It just takes more work. And this, of course, is Game Freak we're talking about here, who, I mean, I'm not going to say Game Freak has an aversion to work, but an aversion to extra work. Let's say that much. But the cool thing about this, let's see what the people think, though. I done told you what I think. Let's see what they think. Why are people all of a sudden liking Sword and Shield? It's because of the cycle. The cycle continues. Always. I can't wait until Generation 10 comes out and they tell me how good Scarlet and Violet was, even though it still ran like booty cheeks. Scarlet and Violet feel empty and lifeless, while most towns in Sword and Shield feel warm and cozy, until you realize there's nothing to do with them. I'm saying, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I remember when I got to that one town that was made out of like fluorescent mushrooms or whatever, and I was like, wow, this is a really cool looking town. There was absolutely nothing to do in that town, probably but the gym. It was like, it was really fancy looking, but there's nothing to it though. This is one hell of a lie. Scarvio, okay, I've never heard that said before, really stepped light years ahead of all Gen 8 games. Yes, that includes that Legends trash.
What? Bro, let's not lie.
No, I refuse to believe now we're defending this game. This game has had nothing but controversy since it was announced. I feel you. I feel him. See, I get that person, cuz. Alright, because that dude understands. Okay, he was there when this game launched and everybody was just angry. Alright. I feel him. He's my spirit animal right now. Scarlet and Violet felt too open.
I know a lot of things, but I don't know about that.
I understand Pokemon just wander around now, and that's great, but it felt kind of weird.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
So, the open world Pokemon game feels too open. Chill, bro. You're about 5 years early to everyone claiming they love Sword and Shield and that nobody hated it in a desperate attempt to complain about Generation 11. Yeah, that's what it feels like. I've seen people say that like past Call of Duty games. People come up and bring up like, there's a video out there that's talking about how good Call of Duty Ghost was. And I remember so many people dumping on Ghost when it came out. At this rate, we're only a couple of years away from people saying, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee and BDSP are good. Sword and Shield has this weird issue where the towns and routes look amazing, like Glenwood Tangle and Balanlia are two of the best looking areas of all time, but are ruined by having nothing in them and are too basic. Yes, but the wild area actually has a bit of content but looks ass. There you go. There you go. Exactly. Someone has to say it, and it's literally a consensus among most of the fan base. No, bro, I'm gonna have to stop you there. I don't know about most of the fan base.
What do you mean we?
We? No. There's no we.
The art style of looking like complete.
Come on, man.
Oh, wow. No. I wouldn't say that much. I would say the aesthetic of this game actually looks pretty good. You know what I'm saying? It actually looks like a whimsical child's game. I hate the Scarlet and Violet human models with a passion. I hope they aren't the standard for the next generation.
Homer, with all due respect, what the are you talking about?
What do you mean? Like, I've seen this complaint about the art, like the character models of Scarlet and Violet, and I'm like, I don't see what's wrong here. I mean, they are a bit more realistic, you know what I'm saying, compared to like the more fanciful stuff that you see in Sword and Shield, but they don't look bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody explain this one to me in the comments. I'm honestly baffled at this one. Going back in time to convince Game Freak to make the game in HD 2D.
No. Whoa. What do you mean, no?
Oh, okay. No. All right. I'm going to have to stop you there, buddy. Okay. Here's the thing. An HD 2D Pokemon game sounds like it would be really awesome. I think we've come too far in 3D HD to go back. You know what I'm saying? Because imagine if they've come this far now, imagine where they're going to be in another 5 years with 3D. Because, I mean, at Generation 5, Pokemon had gotten to the point where they were the best sprite company on the planet. Our Game Freak was the best. Creatures were the best at making sprites. I mean, just imagine how good they're going to be in, like, maybe 5 years. All right, so that's about it with this one. I didn't want to make the video too long, you know what I'm saying? You know, so tell me what you think down in the comments. Do you think the Scarlet and Violet art style is better than the Sword and Shield, or vice versa? Do you think Generation 8 as a whole was worse or better than Generation 9? Tell me in the comments down below, and be respectful. Unless they're a Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee fan, then go ahead and just dump on those people. We don't like those people.